Question is like, what should they publish now? Then whether they should publish a paper, research paper, journal paper, review paper, what kind of paper, whether they should publish they should make a prototype, simulator, patent, a poster expo. There are so many options there, and like sometimes the students are not knowing like what they should really be doing. So it's clear like we should be doing research as an extracurricular activity. There is no option here because like grades, everyone is suppose for example like 3.5 GPA, that is the score. There are so many students, they are there already there, like thousands of students, million of students are already at 3.5 GPA. Then what is gonna distinguish students from there, how they are gonna go forward after that? Then research is the main thing that is gonna differentiate students from 3.5 GPA. That was just an example, but like it really plays a role of creating a differentiation in the system for the college applications. So before explaining like what a student should really choose, they should understand what does it mean. So when we talk about a research paper, what is a research paper? And how do we write, what it includes? First question. Then we will be coming to other formats of research as well. So here as we can see, like the only question we need to think of about why does this happen, and how can I find out the process, how is this happening, and what can we add on top of it, how can we make it better. And this is applicable to anything in this world. That is where the research starts from. It doesn't have to be like you have to do research in genes, you have to do research in sustainable fuels, you have to do research in aerodynamics. You can pick any question, what is around you, about you, you are curious, and then you can start going deep into it. And believe me, like it has really no boundaries, like for how deep we can go in the research and all, and what we can achieve, what we can establish over there. Even like if we think of a small thing, a earphone or something, that earphone, somebody researched about it, like how to connect with it, a mobile phone, where it should be wired, where it should be like connecting with the Bluetooth, how Bluetooth will be working, how the phone should also have an interface for Bluetooth, the phone the earphone should also have a interface for the Bluetooth. Like how can we optimize the design? If you remember, like we used to get bulky headsets, now it is very compact, just we are putting it in our ears and like okay, we are good to go. So just we need to be curious about the subject, about a topic or anything, and like we should get started in that direction. There is really no end, and it is really quite interesting and beautiful journey. So the same thing, like once we start finding the curiosity, then we can move to more focused question. Just the example I gave about the earphones, like okay, how can we make it more energy efficient, that such that my earphone could go on without charging for 15 days? How can we make it more compact? How can we make it more comfortable according to ear design and all? What material we should be using over there? There are so many questions, we just need to pick a problem, that's the thing actually. And then need to convert it to a focus question. Then what has already happened in that area, that is called the background research, that is called the literature review. Because for research, the main thing is that like we can't start everything from the scratch, because the humanity has been established and research has always been a part of it. It's not like it had just started it has been there for years. So we have to read that history, what people has done so far, and like how we can improve on that, what is already there. Looking into that, that is called literature review. We do it systematically, that is called systematic review. But when we add on top of it, that is called a research, where we add something. And here, like, really a good mentor comes into the picture, who has already an experience of that area, like of that subject. They can really provide very good inputs, like in which direction it should go. Then, like, for now we have a focus question, we have already checked what is in the literature there. Then what methods we are going to use to investigate our experiment, for our the proposed method, what simulations we are going to do. Because okay, now this is something like I can work on, right? But like how we are going to work on that, how is very important. So like people have been saying for ages what, why, and how. That's still there, but we change it into a research paper. Then, after implementing that, what results we are getting? Is this result better than what is already existing over there? If not, then what? How can we make it better? Every time it is not possible to make things better. Some research take quite a long time. If you guys maybe like keeping some updates about quantum research is going on for so long. Every day you will be seeing like this breakthrough. Now 1000 qubits came, now 2000 qubit came and all. But the real quantum algorithm, real the concept was uh, devised in back in 1984. And so far sometimes like they are continuing their experiment, they are continuing their research, but there could be like we are not able to cross some boundaries. But what we learned, this method didn't work. What we are giving to the community, don't use this method. I have already tried this method, tested and tried. This won't work. This is not gonna add anything in that. And that is like we write in our review paper, our experiment paper, and all, right? Then our final conclusion. And when we write our findings, our conclusion, our results, then we get a research paper. Okay, so I would like Priyanka actually to share in between with an example uh, about the research paper thing. Then I will continue again. So, Priyanka, over to you.
Okay, I'm just gonna pull out my